A couple of things, we didn't get any turnovers and they got three. We had three opportunities. I mean, real opportunities on defense and one on special teams, so that makes four. We dropped two, and then the ball went up and we didn't get it. So what do we have to do as coaches? I mean, we got to put them in and expose them. We're doing different drills this week, exposing them to different ball drills to make sure that we come down with those balls. Sudden change, we talked about it the last two wins that we had. When we got in sudden change, the offense turned the ball over. We didn't allow points, okay? This game, we allowed 13 points. All right, so that's not good enough.
We haven't consistently been able to practice as a unit, since training camp started. And I think that's where maybe some of the inconsistency is showing up, particularly on third downs. It just seems like we're a little bit off. But as a play caller, you just adapt to the personnel, and our staff has done a great job getting those guys ready to play, and the guys are making plays when they have been called upon. And so it's been cool to see those guys step up and make plays.
Did you notice the Bears playing you guys a little bit differently than maybe you anticipated, with maybe some more heavier boxes just because of maybe some of the injuries on the outside?
Yeah, I think teams are going to challenge you with a little more man coverage if they want to see where you're at with wideout and what those guys can do. And I thought the guys responded and made a bunch of plays.
What kind of strain does that put on the quarterback when you don't have the practice rep, just in terms of getting timing down with receivers and whatnot?
Yeah, it's big. I think that's a great point you bring up. That, more than anything, is if guys aren't practicing during the week, or you haven't been able to consistently work with a guy throughout training camp, throughout the season, it's not easy when the pressure's on and the lights are on to get on the same page. But like I said, I think they've done a great job, and Jaden's done a tremendous job of kind of lifting the group up. And
all right, going to the injury report, and man, where do we even start? Let's start with Drake Jackson. So it was reported this morning that we're placing Drake Jackson on IR because he's still working back from his knee injury. And my first reaction to that was, what in the world? I mean, we just signed this dude yesterday officially, and now he's going on IR because he's still recovering from his knee injury. He's not fully recovering from that. Why do we sign him in the first place? We need guys now. Dorrance Armstrong is going to be out this week most likely. He was a DNP once again today, and he's going to be out this week most likely. And, hamstring injury, soft tissue, so that's tricky. Probably going to be out for the next couple of weeks as well, maybe another week or two, right? So we need bodies. Like Von Miller and Jacob Martin may have to start for us. I don't want that. I don't want that at all, man. We need Dorrance. We need more bodies. And the fact that Drake Jackson is hurt is just, that sucks. Now, apparently they always knew this. It was always going to be the plan. And he's more in future plans rather than now. But still, man, I mean, we need bodies, and Drake Jackson going on IR, and Dorrance Armstrong being out this week. I mean, that's just not a recipe for success against the Cowboys. As for the rest of the injury report, I already mentioned Dorrance Armstrong, DNP. Alec Cajo was a DNP today because of an illness, but I expect that to clear up. He probably should be fine. Terry, after being limited in yesterday's jog through, he did not practice today. So that's not great, and I've already seen all the fans' reactions. And look, man, the Terry situation, I know I haven't really talked about. I've talked about it a little bit. It's tiring, though, which is why I don't really talk about, why I would say, why he's injured. And people say it's because, he held out. And, when guys hold out, it's not a surprise they get injured, suffer a soft tissue injury early on in the year, which is what happened with Terry. But, it's football. Injuries happen. It is what it is, right? But Terry didn't practice today. Probably not going to play again this week, which absolutely sucks. Chris Rodriguez and Deebo Samuel were both DNPs once again today. Chris Rodriguez, we'll see if he plays. I think he will still play. They did this last week with him. He barely played Monday night versus the Bears, so they might be just doing this thing again where he doesn't practice the first 2 days but practices the last day, and he will be fine for Sunday's game, right? We'll see, but I still have hope he plays. Deebo, though, I have no clue. I mean, he clearly didn't look right on Monday night with that heel injury. Try to push through, so I give him credit for that, but still, man, I mean, I don't know if Deebo plays. And he's already been out 2 days of practice, and if he doesn't play, man, we're going to be out all three of our receivers. Top three receivers. Terry, Noah, and Deebo. That's bad, man. I mean, we're going to have Chris Moore Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane starting for us. You don't want that. Like, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And then Sam Cosmi, Jane Daniels, Zach Ertz, and Jonathan Jones were all full participants today. And then as for the Cowboys injury report, I mean, their injury report is clean. We've already heard from CeeDee Lamb. He says he could have played last week versus the Panthers, but, you know, they decided not to push him and instead play this week. Limited once again today. He's going to play, and mostly everybody on here for the Cowboys is going to play, so I'm not even going to take the time to, you know, just go through this. The only guy that's probably not going to play is guard Trevor Keegan, but he's a backup, so, you know, really doesn't matter a whole lot. The Cowboys are pretty much fully healthy. Got most of their guys good to go for Sunday's matchup. Then one more thing before I get on out of here. It's been reported by Ian Rappaport that the Commanders are signing former Titans receiver Treylon Burks to the practice squad. And he'll start off there, obviously, and then in a week or two, you know, he will probably be elevated to the active roster for game days, right? So we held a visit for Treylon Burks, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. Can't quite remember, but held a visit with him, workout, and now we're signing him to the active roster. And this makes sense, you know. Treylon Burks did not work out with the Titans, but he does have a lot of talent from the 2022 draft, obviously with Olave, Wilson, Jameson Williams, right? All those guys. And then work out with the Titans. And his injury or his career has been injury-plagued thus far, but maybe, just maybe, he could turn it around with a change of scenery. Now, I don't expect big things from Treylon Burks. He will not play right away. However, we need a depth at receiver. With all three of your top guys out right now, I mean, we need a depth at receiver, right? So this signing does make sense, and, you know, we'll see how much Treylon Burks does contribute to the team for the rest of the season. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up to the channel, and turn on notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on anything I talked about in today's video. And other than that, it's Big King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.